all a bunch of fucking assholes. You know why? You don't have the guts to be what you want to be. You need people like me. You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy. So, what'll I make you? Good? You're not good. You just know how to hide, how to lie. Me, I don't have that problem. Me, I always tell the truth, even when I lie. So say good night to the bad guy. Come on. The last time you're gonna see a bad guy like this again, let me tell you. Come on. Make way for the bad guy. There's a bad guy coming through. Better get out of his way.
Alright, so I didn't really know how to start this video, but it comes to my attention again that our favorite retarded PlanetSide 2 YouTuber has decided to make another video on skill for some reason. I'm not really sure why. But instead of writing out a long like fucking outline and all the shit for the video, I'm just gonna put the video up and I'm gonna watch the video and I'm gonna react to basically the entire video, right? So I'm just gonna stop it at points, play it. We're gonna start it from the beginning. We're just gonna talk about it. Before, I'll let it get to that point, but there's a really big thing I want to talk about too with BR and everything. But I'm just gonna let it play for now. We're gonna watch the entirety of the video. Once we get past this obnoxious opening.
Maybe they weren't.
Okay, so first thing, MLG Pro thing it doesn't exist in this game. So I don't know why that people keep bringing this up year after year after year after year after year, but nobody calls it that, dude. The only people that call good players MLG Pro are people like Cyrious, right? They just have to have some label on it. I don't know if it's they use that label to vilify the people that are playing or whatever, or to I don't get it. I don't know why we're still calling good players MLG Pro or whatever in this game, but you also have to remember that in CyriousGaming's world, you are going to fight an MLG professional player in 50% of your engagements. So that should give you a little insight into what this man thinks.
Down players, usually using the heavy assault, and they say, hey.
Okay, so people that post videos mowing down people with heavy assault, right? They're playing a class in a game that has asymmetrical balance. There's no limits on population. There's these things called force multipliers, and there's going to be a lot of people shooting at you. So why would you not play a class that affords you, what is it, like three extra hits that you can take with an overshield? I mean, the overshield is pretty shitty at this point. Let's be honest. Why would you not, if you're going to play in a game that is inundated with complete and total cancer at every fight that you go to, why would you not want to play that? Why do you have to vilify a person for playing a class that will better equip them to do that? Now, at the same time, I think he also has a clip of me. This is a heavy assault video, but there is a clip of me later in the video playing as a tar medic against like 6 guys by myself. I don't think he mentioned that or anything, but most people that are good at heavy assault and are good in general in this game at killing infantry players can do it with every class. Okay, the heavy assault affords you the ability to take fights better against, you know, people. Like I see you're always in a platoon of people. And you know, when I'm fighting against mass overpop, which is usually what I'm fighting against, these people, the population isn't enough. So they're also bringing force multiplier, max, everything. So yeah, I am gonna take a heavy assault. I don't know why. What am I supposed to stand there with an engineer? Like I can kill as many of your squad members with engineers I can kill with heavy assault, but I'm probably gonna feel better if I have a little bit, like what, 450 extra health. Yeah, I'm gonna take it. So sorry, that's just the nature of the game. And once again, for all you guys out there that say, well, you should go, if you don't like this game, you should go play a different game. I'm playing the game that the developers have given me. And the developer endorsed way to play the game is to dump as many retards on one base as possible. So I'm going to play the class that gives me more HP to fight more retards, because that's just common sense. I'm sorry you don't like it. And people like Cyrious and the people that follow his channel, that when they come up against a heavy assault player that can aim, they die because they can aim. I mean, it really doesn't get any more simple than that. So like in the history of the game, heavy assault has always been demonized and vilified. And granted, it was a lot stronger like several years ago, like a lot stronger, but it is not even anywhere near what it used to be. So if you're still complaining about heavy assault in we'll be in 2019 in a few days. If you're still complaining about heavy assault in 2019, it's probably because you're bad at the game and you don't do very much well.
I want to do that. Make me an advanced training heavy assault guide so I can go be awesome like that. It's not learning how to play the heavy assault you're after, if that's what you want. The number one thing is learning how to shoot, and the number two thing is learning how to pick your fights.
Okay, and you can't do that with a heavy assault? So you can, what he just said, learning how to shoot and learning how to pick your fights is basically how you win every infantry engagement in this game with any class, period. There's no, and for some, there's not some mutual exclusivity shit with, you know, you're either a heavy assault player or you're learning to aim and positioning. Like,
but I'm not here to teach the industrial farming simulator that you can pull out.
Okay, so he calls it if you kill a lot of people in Planet Side 2, it in any way, shape, or form, it's an industrial farming simulator. So because I can go to a base and I can single-handedly stop an entire push of people from coming into a building, that's somehow industrial, and I'm just playing a farming simulator. You're kind of right, because there's so many people out there that have your attitude that they never actually want to improve at the game and face like the real challenge of being a good infantry player in this game, that they have to take your mindset that creates like this alternate universe, right? So anyone that goes to a base and can single-handedly stop like a group of people from taking the base by just killing them as an infantry player, they're not an objective player, they're not a skilled player, they're just a farmer, which that doesn't make any sense. You're disparaging them because of their ability to be successful at what they're doing. Like, I don't think I've ever played a game in which its best players are so hated by the community. And it's because of people like Cyrious and people that make content and share the same mindset as him.
Play. They notice each other at the same time, they have the same class, they're on a completely even footing. It just depends on who shoots better as to who wins.
Okay, so here we have another construct of the shitter mindset. The only way to ever have a skill is to have two classes that are exactly the same, two people have the exact same gun, they see each other at the exact same time, and then that is a pure indicator of skill. Cyrious, why aren't you playing arena shooters, man? I mean, if that's, why are you playing PlanetSide? Unfortunately, situations like that don't happen that often. And in this game, that's just not what's going to happen 99% of the time.
Now here's something that's not skilled play.
Double, triple homicide.
Jesus Christ.
But impressive. Maybe they worked at the phone company.
Double kill.
That is moshing up amateur players. It is farming, it is smurfing, it is seal clubbing. You cannot find skilled play against players that cannot move defensively and cannot fire back at you with reasonable accuracy. And the problem is somehow, over the past 6 years, that has been accepted as if it is skilled play. Rather than doing what makes PlanetSide PlanetSide.
Like, how many clips do we have to watch of this guy who has poor aim? He's just flailing about. That fucking, the clip before this, it just hurts my fucking brain to watch this man play the game. The reason why people look to become that is because the game has unlimited populations with no restrictions. So a player, let me be very clear so you can understand this, a player that can kill multiple enemies and not die is an asset to his faction or whatever role-playing shit that you're doing, is always going to be a more valuable player than someone who cannot aim, cannot position, and is dead the entire time they're in the play session. That's why people want to be that, because they want to be successful, and being successful in this game, more often than not, in an objective-based game, constitutes being able to kill more people than they have, right? Or in this case, it means being able to kill a lot of people and not die. If you have a bunch of people that kill a lot of people and don't die, that are also playing the objective, which somehow this always comes up with shitters too. Like, in order to play the objective, you have to be dead, apparently. That's the mindset, right? But when outfits like AC and DA and Future Crew and Recursion and all these people that kill people and die, you know, infrequently, that also play the objective, this blows their fucking mind. Because they can't see a good player for just being a good... They can't just say, yeah, he's a good player. They have to fucking disparage a good player. You know, if he has a fucking 4 KD, oh, well, he just farms. How the fuck do you know? He doesn't play the objective. Have you ever watched any of fucking, like, any gameplay of any of these people? Like, you can go right away and watch someone that actually does stream and their gameplay footage in this. This is something I do. You can go and watch their fucking gameplay and watch what they are doing. Is it someone that goes into a base where there are multiple enemies, kills them, captures the points, and continually does this? How can you not say that that person is not playing the objective? I don't understand this. Like, having good stats and playing the objective are not mutually exclusive. Wow.
Trying to achieve difficult objectives in the sandbox MMO, people have decided the only thing worth doing is finding the easiest way to a high KDR.
And some people do that. There are millions of ways to do that in this game. But you can just look again. I think he's going to go into this a little bit here, but people that share the same mindset as Cyrious talk about how all the good players obsess about their stats, which some of them do, but a lot of us just play the game and we get good stats because we're good at doing something in the game. Like, there's a long-standing misconception in the PlanetSide 2 shitter community that you have to specifically play for a certain stat. This is categorically wrong. It's fucking dead. It's always been wrong. KDR is an important metric I use in analysis. But it's really like people don't really obsess. KDR, I can't believe I have to like go into this. Like KDR in PlanetSide 2 is like a very, very basic gauge for like how what your play session is like, right? Or if you're looking at an overall player, KDR tells you, especially in this game, kill death ratio tells you very little about the person. That's why it's so great. We have DA stats and all this shit. You can look at the entire context of the player, right? Like, I don't understand. This guy has a fixation on KDR too, in the sense that he thinks that everyone that has a high KDR obsesses over their KDR and plays specifically and only to boost that stat. I don't know how many times this has to be like refuted, but good players in PlanetSide 2 are primarily playing to kill as many people as possible in a short amount of time as possible. Because once again, this game is about large-scale fights. So, in turn, if you have a player that is killing a lot of people while simultaneously not dying very often, they're probably having a meaningful impact on whatever fight that they're at. Now, there are always exceptions to this. Are you playing in a manner? Are you playing around in the buildings and actively taking fights with people and pushing people out and moving through the base and the point rooms and all that shit? Are you doing that? Because there are people that do that and have a high KDR, have high stats, high kill per minute, all that stuff. And then you have the people that play primarily for KDR, which is, you know, some super low risk, high reward, like they're sniping far as fuck away. They're sitting in a max suit their entire play session. They're sitting in overpop. They're sitting in like morbidly terrible overpop with like 70-80% population constantly. You always have a numerical advantage. That's where stats are misleading, right? You need to see how the player's actually playing, and that's why a lot of these people, like, they don't stream their gameplay. Because someone that, like, if I go into Cyrius's fucking stream, if he ever streams the game, I can sit here and see what he's doing. Like, I can say right off the bat, okay, what are you doing? Why you have a high KDR this session? Because you sat back when you couldn't fight, like, those clips against the recursion players. He has to switch to a one-hit kill fucking bolt because he can't gun with these guys. He just can't. Like, the clips that you're seeing of him Kill Jaden and all these guys that are actually good players, like, how many times did those guys shit on this guy before that? Like, he's cherry picking these clips out, and he does this in all of his videos. Like, he cherry picks a few of my clips later and then ignores a lot of the context of it and everything, but we'll get on with that.
Did they achieve that going head to head with other skilled players when both parties had equal opportunity to win? Were they engaged in fights with purpose, with intent? Were they helping their faction? That skilled play isn't always reflected in those metrics. So you have to look deeper. It is all there in those numbers. You just have to be able to accurately analyze them to figure out what type of player this is. What do they do, and do they challenge them? I don't think you actually believe what you are saying. Because when I go to a base when I'm constantly logging into the Underpop faction and I'm going to these bases that have 60, 70, 80% overpop, I'm challenging myself, okay? I'm seeing how many people I can take on with skill to push them out of the base. Because God knows that ZergFit players like you are not going to go... Like, people like you need people like me. Because when I log into the game, I'm going to go to that 1 to 12 fight that has 7 or 8 guys at it, and I'm going to go there and clean that up for you. Because, well, who knows? You might send all of your fucking entire platoon to the space because you're retarded, but you're probably going to be trying to Zerg down a lattice line somewhere else. So, you need people like me. You're outmanned, outgunned, outpopped. It's not all about going in there and moshing up as many of the players as you can. There's just medics behind them.
Which, why don't you just kill the medics too? Like, the scenario that he's creating here is that if you go into an underpop defense, it's pointless. But do you know how many underpop defenses that myself and players like me and my outfit have went to in the past that we've shit on everybody there because they're awful, because they watch videos like this? Doesn't matter how many medics they have, we just kill them.
Do the mission, get the Sunday down, and then clean them out. Now, this void that exists on what skilled heavy assault play really is doesn't start with the players. It's really due to the fact that PlanetSide doesn't have good objectives. So players fill in the gap with what's available. That is leaderboards, Araxium weapons, directives.
Nobody good cares about leaderboards. Nobody good cares about directives, really. What else?
And farming KDR.
And again, we have this fallacy of farming your KDR is what you're playing for. Oh, okay, that may be... You may have to play in a specific way to have a high KDR, but most good players do not. They just play the game naturally, and they achieve this because they're better players than you.
The first three are really just a subset of farming KDR. The objectives there lend themselves to that activity. But the reality is that's the case with any competitive activity. There's nothing meaningful or difficult about walking a leather ball 100 yards into an end zone or kicking a ball into a net, unless you create a challenge to do so. So whether you're playing football or football, it is a skilled opponent creating a challenge that gives it meaning. What happens now is talented players go out and find easily defensible...
Okay, so here, this is the part where he goes into this clip. This clip is from a stream that I did like several years ago. This clip is probably like 3 or 4 years old. And in this clip, I don't know what the fucking... They didn't have the pop things here, but it's probably a defensive underpop. So I'm coming here, I go into this building, and I kill all these fucking people. Like, they're just running at me because they're brain dead.
Defensible bases with brand new players, low battle rank players, low skilled players, throwing themselves at them in a straight line.
Okay, so this guy keeps bringing this up that I think it's based off this specific clip, right? So when I go to a base, I want to understand this. What filter is it on the map that shows me the battle rank of the players that are there? I just want someone finally to show me where this is, because when I go to a fight, I don't give a fuck who is at the fight. I don't care what battle rank they are. Cyrious has some fascination, or it's not just Cyrious, it's a lot of people. They have this fascination with battle rank. Battle rank doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean shit, and it doesn't mean anything in relation to what you're trying to say, okay? I kill fucking battle rank 100s the same as I kill a fucking battle rank 2. It doesn't matter to me. I don't care. This isn't a match-made game. This is an open world FPS PvP game, and I don't fucking care. I'm not staring at the battle ranks of the people that I kill. I go to a fight. If there's someone with a gun that's trying to fucking shoot me and attack me at a base, I'm going to kill them. I don't care what battle rank they are. And literally no good player gives a shit what battle rank someone is. It doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter. These people are so fucking retarded. It hurts my brain.
Then call that player that just downloaded the game, has maybe 2 to 10 hours in it versus their 3,000 hours.
Fucking retarded.
And say, hey, I'm really good. These toxic players have been the biggest
Are people... So I'm standing in a doorway. Let me go back.
Talented players go out and find easily defensible bases with brand new players, low battle rank.
So the first guy, the cloaker is just running at me. I knifed him. The second guy runs in and is trying to throw a grenade at me, and I'm basically 1 meter away from him. He's retarded. This guy right here just mag dumped me and missed every fucking bullet at the doorway because he aims like CyriousGaming. So now I'm re-peeking him while he's reloading his gun.
Players, low skill.
He mashes his spacebar because he has no idea what the fuck to do, and he dies. Now there's also 2 other guys. I think there's 2 other guys. Yep, there's a guy right there who has no idea what's going on. He's just running straight at me because he has no game sense, no awareness. What the fuck's going on? He dies. This second guy runs in and tries to shoot at me. I'm not even sure if he hit me. Of course, he missed too because he aims like CyriousGaming. This third guy, this guy should have killed me long before anything, but he is also making the cardinal sin of just sprinting dead at somebody without his gun up. He dies. He gets killed instantly. But Cyrious is going to completely ignore anything that I did well in that clip because he wants to vilify me and he wants to demonize players like me like this. He's not going to talk about how I just killed all these people. Like, that doesn't matter to him.
That gives it meaning. What happens now is talented players go out and find easily defensible bases with brand new players, low battle rank players, low skilled players, throwing themselves at them in a straight line.
These people are so fucking retarded, it hurts my brain.
Then call that player that just downloaded the game, has maybe 2 to 10 hours.
Like, I just insta-killed 4 people consecutively with headshots.
In it versus their 3,000
But that's just because they're bad, right?
hours.
That I haven't done that. I think I've killed over 250,000 players in this game. Were they all running in a straight line at me? Is that what happened? Serious?
I'm really good. These toxic players have been the big.
This guy's brain dead. He just looked right at me and ran sideways. Oh, and by the way, since Cyrious says I can't track.
Really good. These toxic players have been the big.
Wow, I just perfectly tracked that guy and insta-killed him.
Biggest obstacle for this game to succeed since its inception. Even though this is a
This guy's still running in a straight line because he's role-playing for his faction.
talented player, there is nothing talented.
This guy's another useless player who's crouched as a stalker cloaker just still watching me kill people.
About this footage.
Yes, these people are retarded.
Hitting a headshot on a guy running at you in a straight line is not hard. Hitting headshots on players that know how to move, know how to juke, know how to use netcode to their advantage is something entirely different. This is like a baseball player stepping up to a plate and then the umpire runs over with a T-ball stand. And he tees it up and he smacks a home run. Is this a talented baseball player? Sure. But it's not.
I'm going to let him go on this, and then I'm going to completely destroy what he's saying here.
What's infiltrated the mindset of some talented.
Okay, so you probably picked the worst person to make this this claim about. Like, I've never played against good players or anything, but I played in 2 seasons of the Farmers League against some of the best players in the game at the time. This was like 2014, 2015, so DA, Future Crew, Recursion. I played against all those people, my friend, and thankfully, because of the wonder of the internet, every single one of those games was casted and put on Twitch, and now they all exist on YouTube. So if you want to go see me play against good players, there's, I think, like 16 to 20 games, which are like 2 30-minute halves of 6v6, right? So if I don't ever play against good players, I guess I must never run into them in the game, and I've never played against them. But I seem to recall that my team in Farmers League won both seasons, and I think we lost one match. I'm not even sure if we lost a match that I ever played in. So if you're going to attack someone for not performing well against good players, you should probably have picked someone who hasn't played specifically against good players in a fucking 6v6 format. You should probably pick someone else that hasn't done that. Okay? So all this bullshit about I can't do this against good players, and I mean, I've been playing against the same players for 6+ years. I don't really even play the game anymore, to be honest. Get that out of the way. But like, the same people that farmed you, Cyrious, Recursion, Future Crew, all those guys on Connery that pushed your shit in every day, I was scrimming against them every day and maintaining a fucking 2 KD against the best players in the game. Constantly. Okay? The highest scoring player on my team in Farmers for the majority of the games that we played in. Okay? You need to find someone else. And before... So what's going to come of that is this fucking retard is going to go, yeah, Farmers League is planet side too. Okay, my friend, for the people that say that, I would like to see you play in a Farmers League match, because most people that say that, you know, there is the only competitive PlanetSide 2 is Server Smash or whatever other dog shit, like, Server Smash is live play with slightly more coordinated. Sorry. Like, when you play in a 6v6 format against actual good players, which I have done and I've been very successful at, which I didn't see you pull any clips from that here. You've just got clips that you cherry picked from my YouTube, right? And here's another one right here that we're about to talk about. You don't have a fucking leg to stand on, my friend. I'm the wrong person to attack that way. If you want to go after someone else, I mean, who else are you going to go after? You're going to go after Vert? Vert's a very good player. He also played in the same league. Like, you're just completely unaware. Like, you don't even know who you're talking to. And it's not even an ego thing, right? I wouldn't even bring it up, except for the fact that I feel like I really have to squash this notion that the only reason that we're successful is because we're playing against a bunch of retarded low ranks. That's not true. That's not true. Period. End of story.
Players in this game is that if my headshot ratio is high and my kill death ratio is high, I must be
Okay, so this is a clip.
run around these defensive fights,
This is a clip that he cherry picked of me going to. I actually have the clip here. So he says I die to the first semi-competent person that shows up, but I think I killed that guy 4 more times in the video. So this is the actual video. This is the actual video tarring them at Bravada that he pulled from. I'm gonna be going 30 seconds. So I'm gonna give some context for this clip since he just decided to clip for whatever reason. So I go to this fight. I think I'm one guy against probably 5 or 6 people, and again, there's no premeditation here of, hey, I bet there are a lot of low ranks here, right? So I go to this fight. It's a defensive underpop. It's a 3-point base. I run in. There's automatically 3 guys are shooting at me. What am I supposed to do? Ask them what battle rank they are and yell chat? No, I'm going to fucking kill them because they're shooting at me. I go to the A point. I cap the A point, and then it just goes from here.
You run in your resist shield and no...
And by the way, I'm playing medic in this clip, and I'm not running carapace or combat surgeon. I'm running a tar with battle hardened and assimilate as a medic. So I thought this video was about heavies, but
combat surgeon.
all right, that's the second time I just killed that guy that Cyrious says shows up to the fight and kills me first. So I just want to give a little context to this clip that he cherry picked from my channel. So I've already come here. I'm out popped. I've capped 2 points by myself. I run up. I kill this guy. This same guy. He's already pulled a shotgun. So I'm still killing him here. I cap this point. I eventually run out of ammo. Both of those people had shotguns, by the way. So I run out of ammo. I redeploy for ammo. Go back. Still only have 1 point. I think one other TR guy came here. Like, again, I'm fighting by myself against all these people. I'm cleaning these guys. I think I killed these guys like 30 fucking times. And like in Cyrius's video, all he cares about is the battle ranks of the people I'm killing. There's no context to what's happening or anything. Like, all of these guys, especially equipped with shotguns, can fucking kill me in 2 clicks of their mouse. I've killed the same TR that can come here, and it's a 3-point base. So you might ask, where are the rest of the TR? They're probably in one of, like, Cyrius's gaming platoons or whatever, and they're zerging down a lattice line. So people like me are left to clean up, you know, these little fights where these groups of players try to get a base for free. And I'm sorry, I don't want you to have the base for free. And I'm going to go here and challenge myself, 1v6 or whatever it is. And to say, like, if he goes into a situation where he says that's not a challenge, okay, you go do it. You go do it constantly for 4,000 hours and tell me that it's not difficult. So what you're going to see from my stats here is that I had a high KDR and a KPM at this base, and I got a few base defenses or whatever, because that shit keeps coming up. And then we're going to get into this whole siege rating shit later. But just looking at that doesn't tell you what happened. Now, I think this is right around here where he starts clipping what battle rank they are. I have no control over this, man. I don't have control over who is trying to cap the base. I don't care. Like, when I kill someone, I'm not looking at their battle rank. I don't even look at their fucking name tag. Like, I look and see, I'm shooting hit markers until I see their fucking shit pop up, and then I know they're dead. I don't look at their fucking battle rank, because it's irrelevant. Because all of these people, no matter what battle rank they are, they can insta-kill me. Especially if fucking half of them were already pulling shotguns. Is that guy that was supposed to be the really good player that killed me? He just got shit on while I'm fighting 2 other guys. But you won't get any of this context in his video because it goes against his narrative. And his narrative is that I just came to this fight because there was a bunch of low BRs here when it didn't even fucking occur to me to even consider what BR. I don't care what BR characters I'm fighting. And I'm also not even a heavy assault. Like that guy can't aim. He's BR2. Cool. This guy respawns and one frames me. And again, I was the only person there fighting all those people. So, was I not challenging myself? These people 30 times. Not one I guess I must not have been challenging myself.
And be like, oh geez, why didn't my team come help me? Didn't start a squad, didn't go out there and train people to run with them, didn't get on...
So you're saying that in order to log in and play the game, I have to... Let me listen to this again and make sure I'm hearing what I'm hearing.
Team, come help me. Didn't start a squad, didn't go out there and train people to run with them, didn't get on command chat, didn't set waypoints, didn't...
This guy's so fucking retarded, it hurts, man. Like, if I want to log into the game and to play it, I have to go into command chat. I have to always have... I didn't have any friends on, man. I had no squad mates. Because all my friends hate the game because people like you are fucking have ruined the game. So they don't want to play the game. So when I log in to play solo, that's what I've got to deal with. Right? I'm not going to fucking go in command chat and train people to run with me. Like, this autistic mindset of that's how you have to play the game. What I did there, that's how I played the game, the session. Okay? I fucking logged in by myself, nobody to play with. I go to an underpop defensive fight, and I killed a bunch of players. And we lost it because there was not a single other person that decided to come there for whatever fucking reason. Because they were probably too busy watching Cyrious videos and learning how to actually play the game, which is to sit in a platoon somewhere and just fucking AFK and aim poorly at everybody or something.
Fundamental basic things that make up the game of PlanetSide, and then say I'm good because I have a 5 KDR. This is where your other analytical tools come into play. Seeing a high KDR and a high HSR is a great first sign. The question is if that player is good for anything beyond defensive farming. So the next thing you got to go look at is the ADR. Did this player land those stats while they were challenging themselves? Were they attacking?
Okay, here is a stat. So the Mongoloids that have railed against stats literally since the inception of DA stats and the PlanetSide 2 player stat page was invented, have invented a stat that fucking gives them a metric rating on a little fucking scale of the whether or not they attack bases or defend bases. Okay, dude. So let me get this straight. You have to get the context of someone that defends bases and has a high KDR, which is true, but you don't have to get the context of someone who has a high whatever ADR rating or whatever it is. So how do you think most people capture facilities in this game? do you think it's 50-50? Do you think it's like some kind of even kind of fight? Because I would venture in 4,000 hours of gameplay that's not generally how people cap bases. So it's very funny to me that an entire community of shitters had to come up with their own stat because their stats were being shamed forever, and then they say that you can't apply context to that stat. You can't apply context to ADR. Okay. You know what would save us all a lot of trouble? Is if there were actually stats for how often you're sitting in overpop, how often you have an insane advantage. That would be a nice stat to have.
Were they taking difficult points? Were they pushing objectives?
The ADR doesn't tell you any of that. It doesn't tell you if you were attacking a difficult point. It doesn't tell you if you were taking difficult objectives. It doesn't tell you that. It tells you whether you were at a base when it got capped or not, and literally gives zero context otherwise.
And the answer to that is no. They have a .09 ADR. That is atrocious. What this tells me is this person isn't interested in challenging themselves.
I'm not interested in challenging myself. Okay, that's why I log in and forcibly put myself in situations where I always have to fight outgunned and outmanned every time I log into the game for 4,000 hours. I'm not interested in challenging myself. That's why I fucking played in 2 competitive seasons of the fucking game before everyone decided they didn't want to play it anymore. Yes, I don't challenge myself, right? I don't challenge myself by adapting to the game that I played 4,000 hours in, and instead I could be like you and say the headshot multiplier is too high because I'm fucking bad at infantry. Like, really? Like, that's your fucking metric?
Fights, defenses, and farm amateur players. So how much...
Everyone is an amateur player, you fucking twat. This isn't CSGO or Rainbow Six Siege. Like, there's no people playing on fucking competitive teams. It's PlanetSide 2, man. It's PlanetSide 2. It's a casual game that is a pub stomp simulator for good FPS players. That's literally all there is in the game is amateur fucking players. That's it.
Weight I put on their KDR and HSR goes way down. Sure, can they shoot? Yeah. Are they useful in a difficult, stressful situation? No. They'd be lost.
Okay, so a difficult, stressful situation. I've never been in any of those in this game, I guess. I mean, it just blows my fucking mind how... I mean, it's just ignorance. Like, he's just saying this shit about me. Like, you have no idea what you're even talking about.
Helping me and walk away after their second death so they can protect their KDR. Because they're just not equipped to handle difficult fights. The first thing I hear is, but Cyrious, every time we're just even defending a base, we get multiple defense ticks. It's so easy to get credited with the defense, and half the time we leave our attacks before they turn over anyways. Dude, give me a fucking break. 1 to 10 ratio? Don't even start. I put my number at 0.5 ADR. I agree, it is a lot easier to kick over defense ticks. If you're staying above that, you're being aggressive. You're getting out there.
Have you, like, it makes me think, I don't know how you could ever watch, basically every minute that I've played PlanetSide 2 in the last 4 years, I've streamed or I have YouTube footage of. How could you ever go into my stream and watch me play the game and say that I am not playing in an aggressive manner or that I'm just playing to farm my KDR? You don't know what the fuck you are talking about, dude. And you picked the wrong person to come after for this. Because, if anything, I am the complete opposite of this. I specifically leave fights that we have fucking pop at. I specifically won't go to defensive overpops. Anybody that has watched my stream or knows me as a player knows that that's me. And I shame the people that I play with for doing the same thing. Every time Vert does it, I say something to him. Every time I go into Latro stream and he's doing that, I fucking say something about it, man. I'm constantly posting about this. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
There, you're putting yourself in challenging situations. It doesn't mean you're running the bases all the time, but you're trying to push the lines. You're trying to be aggressive. You're not just sitting around at that tower or that biolab. But as the ADR slumps lower and lower and lower, the play to get that ADR becomes less and less challenging. So when I see a guy run around with 3.5 KDR and a 0.4 ADR, I'm impressed. That guy's getting out there. He's doing a little bit of farming, but he's managing a good KDR while putting themselves in challenging situations. That guy.
I would like to see Cyrious play in a manner, the same manner that all the AC players played in. I would like to see him put himself in these situations and say they are not fucking challenging. He does not do this because he's not a good enough player to succeed in these situations. That's why he plays the way he does. He doesn't aim well enough to fight multiple people over and over again. He doesn't position well enough, and he says that these skills are not even fucking... The only skill you need in PlanetSide is game sense. So the only reason this guy shits on all these players that are better than him is because he can't do the same thing.
Guy's head and shoulders above a guy with a 5 KDR, but only has a 0.1 ADR.
Oh, and by the way, this whole overarching topic of capturing bases and everything, it doesn't fucking matter, and it's pointless. It doesn't fucking matter, Cyrious. It never has mattered, and it never will matter, because there is no metagame in PlanetSide 2. It is a giant, bland, stale, boring TDM session shooter. Every fucking base is like logging out of one server in Battlefield and going to a new server. That's what the game is. And just because you've constructed some autistic fucking realm that you can live in where capturing bases actually means a fuck to anyone besides those that are just stuck in some autistic fucking like mindset that you have, it doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking matter. Defending a base doesn't matter, and capturing a base doesn't fucking matter. None of these things matter because they don't fucking matter. Who cares? You captured a base, you push down the lattice line, we're going to do the exact same thing all over again. We're going to change the color of the map, and then the map's going to close, and we're going to go to a new map and do it all over again. What's the fucking point? It doesn't matter.
Because that guy with a 5 KDR is only good for farming. You can make this game as easy as you want to. And if you want to sit around and defend easy bases, so be it. But what isn't part of that is talented, skilled play. A good way to find opportunities for skilled play is head to a base and check out the leaderboards. A lot of times you'll find a whole bunch of low kill, low score, low battle rank guys below.
Okay, I just want to make a point here that he's still... The scoreboard is broken, and it has been broken ever since the game came out. So why you're looking at the fucking scoreboard to determine anything is completely pointless. Again, you're fucking stupid.
A few at the top that are obviously doing serious damage at the fight. Put yourself at the front lines and get in between the lower skilled players and those high skilled players and just give them a hassle. Make it so it's not all seal clubbing at that base. Be the difficult...
You have no choice in the matter. You have no say in the players that you are going to be playing against in this game. Period.
Difficult fight for that other high skilled player. I gotta say, it is pretty funny how quickly they clear out of those fights. Once they don't know that every person they're going up against is just farm fodder, and all of a sudden they get put down a few times in a row where they thought they were in an easy fight, they disappear really fast. Without matchmaking, this game working depends on high-skilled players challenging themselves rather than smurfing. Because in this game, you don't need to create a new character to go smurfing. All you need to do is find a biolab, a tower, or a large outpost to defend, and voila, you're farming hordes of lower-skilled players.
Because that's all there is to kill in the game. Say it with me. This game is full to the brim with bad FPS players. And people like you who don't try to help these people get better at the FPS aspect of the game and have to go off on some tangent about leadership and platoons and all. Those people stay bad and they continue to get farmed because they watch videos like this.
Okay, So here's the point I've got to stop.
And then they want to aspire to be something other than just farm fodder. And you know what players like you do? You shit on them. And you say, "No. You should not play that way. That is bad." Why do you want to kill a large amount of people in a pub stomp game? How dare you? So you know what? They remain plebs. They remain plebs, and they continue to get farmed by people that are still playing. I don't even fucking play the game anymore. Because it's very fucking boring, because there's no good players in the game. It's just bad players. So if you think about it this way, like, never mind, I'll edit this.
Stop and qualify everything. And this group is also the frustrating reason my videos have gotten so long and take so much work. This should be implied, but some people won't catch it unless I go over it. What some people are going to misconstrue this video as is Cyrious wants us to spot everyone, get their name, go to the player site, plug their name in, track them down, figure out what their battle rank and KDR are, then make a determination as to whether they can actually fight these guys. And if it's some newbie player, Cyrious just wants us to lay down our arms and let them kill us. No, guys, that's not what I'm suggesting in the slightest. When you are presented with a situation where there are lower skilled players that you are going up against, you should kill them. That's PlanetSide.
Thanks, and I'll continue to kill. Well, I'm not playing the game, but that's what I did. I continue to kill them because I don't give a shit what battle rank they are, because it doesn't fucking matter. I don't care. It's an open game. There's no matchmaking. If you want matchmaking, you can literally go play any other fucking game that has matchmaking. I'm sorry that you don't like it.
It's rough out there. But at the same time, you shouldn't tout Life of a Seal Clubber as good gameplay. Smurfing in PlanetSide is something we all do. It feels good to go get your farm on. That being said, it's not something everyone needs to hear about. It's one of those things you do silently and shamefully, and then you move on with your life, and hopefully find something more useful to do, like take a base while severely outpopped. And the next thing I'm going to hear...
What's the stat for that? I don't think you have the taking a base while severely outpopped stat. Because that stat you were talking about earlier doesn't fucking say anything about that.
Is, Cyrious, aren't you just one of those elitists? You sure beat up on that poor Mandalore guy pretty bad, and he was just another amateur player. What we're dealing with here are extremes on a spectrum, and our mantra is not rage against the machine, it's rage against extremes. Making a video where you go around and farm amateur players and then call them
Fucking retarded
is a toxic extreme. At the same time, going out there and making a video that definitively proclaims PlanetSide pay to win when you are clearly a very amateur player is another type of extreme at the opposite end of the spectrum. Ironically, the only time the toxic element of PlanetSide could have done anything good for it would have...
See, if you focused more on what those players were actually doing, like you want to pull up the voice clip of me calling them retarded because they are retarded and they're playing in a retarded manner. Why don't you help those people? Why don't you have videos on what to do? Why don't you have videos on how to be a good infantry player? Because I don't see those videos on your channel. Most of the videos that I see on your channel are like retarded shoutouts to a streamer that will never respond to you. The headshot video, like you're gonna boycott the game because some fucking thing happened. Like, where's your tutorial on aiming and positioning, Cyrious? Is it? Did I miss that? Because if you have made those videos and I have just missed them because I haven't combed over your channel of just shit, why are you still so terrible? Like, there comes a point when you reach a certain level of ability in this game specifically, you begin to drop all these like shit player fallacies that you have about stats and meaning, like territory meaning shit. That kind of stuff just kind of like falls off because you end up realizing that the game that you're playing is really shallow, and it's just pointless. It's just really, you should just log in and shoot guys. Like, and the game is never getting a proper meta. It's never getting fixed. Rel has said as much. Just stop. Just stop making these fucking stupid ass videos that just vilify people that kill a lot of people in a fucking pub stomp game. Everybody's an amateur in this fucking game, man. Just give it up.
Been to put a coherent response together when Mandalore put his video out, but that didn't happen. Instead, they jumped right on the bandwagon because it's one more thing that knocks PlanetSide down a peg, and they're all about that. But the reality is there's a place in the middle. You can be a terrific player, just rather than verbally abusing bad players, when you kill them, send them a tell. Say, hey, go check out these videos. They can help you. Or even better...
Do you know what kind of a macro that I would have to sit and send an individual tell to someone every single fucking time I killed them? So I think on my VS character I have like 1,300 hours, and I have like 100, like right at 100 or 101 kills per hour for the life of the character. Do you know how many fucking tells I would have to send at that rate? I would no longer be playing the fucking game, and my whole PlanetSide 2 experience would be in text chat. Like, seriously? Oh, and by the way, what video am I supposed to send him to? I'm supposed to send him, be like, hey, check out this CyriousGaming video. He says I killed your ass because I got a 2 headshot multiplier. XD.
Great video together.
Fuck out of here.
Renzer has made some great videos that discuss how to improve your aim, improve your shooting. But people want new videos. They don't like old tutorials. So rather than more of this...
Okay, that's not your problem. That's not your fault. Fuck them. If the content is the same and nothing mechanically has changed in the game, then those videos are just as good as they ever were.
Boring, low-skill, toxic play, work on putting its good tutorial together. And if you're at the other end of the spectrum, just know that it's not cheaters or laggers or hackers that are giving you trouble, and the game certainly isn't pay to win. It's just that it's a difficult game without matchmaking, and you've got to improve every single day. And that's what I do. I try to improve every single day, and while I certainly get my farm on, and you see plenty of it on...
See, you fundamentally cannot improve every single day if you hold the mindsets that you hold. That's where you lose me. That's the disconnect. You are stunted as a player by holding some of these retarded mindsets that you have. And you will never ever break through that barrier until you figure it out.
On this channel, I spend far more time leading and training players in game and by putting tutorials out on YouTube. And please, by all means...
Congratulations, you do training and tutorials for terrible FPS players that you never actually address why they're bad at the game, because they're bad at FPS games. You don't teach them any of those fundamental skills, and you're doing it in a game that is fucking dead. Congratulations.
It's a lot of work to make tutorials. If you don't want to make your own to share with those players that you might end up farming, feel free to share mine. If there's a topic you'd like me to cover so you have a video to hand to a new player, please, by all means, leave that down in the comments and I will try to get to that tutorial. The reality is, guys, I hate making the confrontational videos when I have to, like the one to clear up the misconceptions in Mandalores. If I was doing my job, I'd be shredding Life of a SEAL Clubber right now. But I honestly hate doing that stuff. I wish you could just walk up to the toxic players and say, hey, you're being rude, your behavior is toxic, your gameplay is toxic. Why don't you focus on running mentor squads so you can help those new players and put yourself at a little bit of a disadvantage to even the playing field a little bit. And to people like Mandalore Gaming say, hey man, you know, you've got a lot of great footage of your play. It really looks like you're struggling to track targets. You should think about turning down your sensitivity a little bit and tuning your settings down so you can keep a higher frame rate. That'll make your mouse feel smoother, and then you'll be able to track your targets a little better. I know you feel like 600 hours is a pretty full experience of the game, but at this point the game's been out for a long time. You really don't have the time log to make a lot of the statements you are. So you should remove that video to avoid some embarrassment. But we all know that that's not how internet speak works. If you're not being loud and abrasive, the point doesn't get across. And so that means my point of this video won't get across either. They will happily carry on seal clubbing because it boosts their HSR and it boosts their KDR. And they can live...
Once again, obsessed with statistics that good players only use as like a cursory metric to see how they're playing for the day. He's obsessed.
...in blissful ignorance of what PlanetSide really is.
PlanetSide really is whatever you make it out to be, because the game isn't made out to be in any specific way. So again, just making shit up.
And anytime things get a little bit too real, they can just cry Zerg, and it's all okay. So guys, I hope you have a pretty firm understanding now of skilled play versus seal clubbing. And at this point, we get to our new mantra. PlanetSide Arena solves that. It didn't work giving toxic defense farmers too much freedom. With this freedom, those players gravitated towards a multitude of low-effort, high-reward ways to make the game beyond undesirable to play for others. Abandoning any thought of finding a challenge, and focusing on the cheesiest classes and playstyles possible.
And literally all these people will still shit on you in PlanetSide Arena. All the same players that shit on you now in infantry combat will shit on you without heavy assault in infantry combat in PlanetSide Arena. Period. They just will.
What PlanetSide Arena brings is the possibility of matchmaking. It can use a ranking system and distribute players in...
Do you honestly think there's going to be a matchmaking system for 250 versus 250? Are you actually that stupid? Do you really believe that?
Into